What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Listen, man, we have Tyler Perry, man. Tyler Perry is a director, writer. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this show like Meet the Browns, The Oval, Sisters and stuff like that. Listen, Tyler Perry is I must say he's a genius, man. You know what I'm saying? He make a lot of good movie, TV shows and stuff like that. Even though, don't get me wrong, some of his movies and stuff, I sometimes have a disagreement about because it seems like he always have this play about struggling black women or just a struggling black family. You know what I'm saying? Not all, but some of them just always seem struggle. So that's why sometimes I have a disagreement with him. But besides that, man, Tyler Perry is a genius and making movies. So now it seems that actor that was in one of his shows kind of suing him for sexual assault, man, which is crazy. Let's read a TMZ article. Then we're gonna go over Law and Crime, a video they played and really went over the details, and I get my full conclusion. Let's get into it. So it says Tyler Perry sued for sexual assault. Oval actor claims years of harassment and more. So Tyler Perry is facing an accusation of sexual assault, a claim coming from an actor on his long-running TV show, The Oval, and one Tyler's camp calls a scam, TMZ we learn. Derek Dixon filed a lawsuit against Perry, and in the docs he claims he and the director met at an event back in 2019. In Derek's words, Tyler picked him out of the crowd and asked for his phone number, suggesting he might have a role for him. So this is the guy right here, man, Derek Dixon. As it turns out, he did. Derek says Tyler gave him a small role in 2 episodes of a show called Ruthless. Then in January 2020, Derek says Tyler invited him to his Atlanta home and he accepted, hoping to build a friendship that would lead to more acting gigs. But according to the suit, while there, Derek drank too much and ended up sleeping in the guest room. In the docs obtained by TMZ, Derek claims Tyler got into bed with him and started touching his thighs, and although he rejected advances that night, he makes Tyler remain interested. Wow, okay. So these are the text messages right here. I'm gonna read the full article, then we're gonna read the text message also. Shortly thereafter, Derek says he landed the role of Dead in the Oval. Great for his career, but he claims it was around this time that Tyler also started firing off sexually suggestive texts, including asking what Drew's sexual preferences were and telling him he had sex with men. Derek also knows his character, Dale, was written as gay, homeless, and desperate store clerk who had to sleep with other characters for a place to stay. He claims that's exactly what Tyler made him. He was looking for in a real-life sexual partner, someone who would be loyal and dependent upon Tyler. Derek says he feared his career would be derailed if he flatly rejected Tyler. So instead, he told him he just wasn't the sexual type, but he was always terrified he'd lose his job if he complained of sexual harassment. To that point, he says Tyler once again invited him to Atlanta later in 2020, and things allegedly took a dark turn. Derek claims Perry greeted him warmly, but quickly started a sexual charge conversation, like asking him if he likes it rough in bed, and grabbed Derek by the throat while saying, "Look how excited you just got." He says he pushed Tyler away, and that was the end of that alleged incident. The lawsuit includes years of text messages allegedly sent by between both men. Most of the ones Tyler allegedly sent are sexually charged. For instance, one reads, "No straight man will be going on walks with you or cooking dinner for you unless they wanted to F you. I would F you." The most aggressive incident allegedly went down in June 2021, again at Tyler's Atlanta home. Dixon was staying in the guest house and wearing only his underwear when he says Tyler came in to give him a goodnight hug. He alleges Tyler yanked down his underwear, groped his butt, and said, "Relax," and just let it happen, and assured him it wasn't going to hurt. Dixon says he managed to rebuff this advance by changing the subject. According to the suit, Dixon finally filed a complaint with Equal Employment and Opportunity Commission in June 2024, and then quit the Oval, saying he could no longer put up with the alleged sexual harassment. Dixon is suing Tyler and Tyler Perry Studios for quad pro quo and workplace sexual harassment and sexual assault and battery, and is seeking $260 million in damages. Wow, that's a lot of money. Tyler's attorney, Matthew Boyd, tells us this is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims for harassment will fail. Story developed. Wow. Wow, this is very interesting, man. Very interesting. This is crazy. But let's read the text message, man, that they had between each other. So some of the message that he said was, so it seems that how do you make more money than subscriptions? They make money from advertising, lots of money. I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. Testosterone. Oh yeah, from the doctor, but it's making you feel better. I feel so good, but I don't like being horny. Tyler Perry is texting this. I feel sorry for the first brush that flirts with me. Guy said, LOL. You don't understand. Wow. Guy said, I know I need to smell the roses more. Tyler Perry said, you are the roses, but you're so blocked that you refuse to be smelled or open. The guy said, that is sweet, and I'm working on it. Therapy. I'm really scared that I'm going to waste my life worrying. Tyler Perry said, been there, stop somewhere in my late 30s and early 40s. Wow. Listen, these text messages kind of wild, but it seemed that Tyler Perry might have been like flirting with dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see nothing in those messages that really like. Well, okay, I lie. It was one that he said Tyler Perry hugged the guy and pulled his pants down and grabbed his butt. Now I can understand that. I don't know if he got proof for it, but like I say, these are text messages. But that's let's play the news clip from Law and Crime, man. They kind of went over it, and let's go from there.
Crime actor, director, and film titan Tyler Perry is the latest celebrity to be accused of sexual assault. We got our hands on a new lawsuit filed Friday in Los Angeles Superior Court by an actor named Derek Dixon, who starred on one of Perry's hit shows. We want to break down this lawsuit and what it could mean for the movie mogul. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. So to start off, Dixon is suing Tyler Perry, the individual, as well as his production studio. That studio is called TPS Production Services, LLC. That stands for Tyler Perry Studios in Action, LLC. And he is looking for $260 million. Dixon, who portrayed a lead role in Perry's show called The Oval, is claiming 10 causes of action for the civil suit. Quid pro quo sexual harassment, work environment sexual harassment, workplace gender violence, violation of the Bain Act, a California law that protects against violation of someone's civil rights through force or coercion, sexual battery, sexual assault, negligent retention, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and retaliation. Let's get into this lawsuit. The complaint starts off by saying, quote, this case arises from a sustained pattern of workplace sexual harassment, assault, and retaliation perpetrated by Tyler Perry, a powerful media mogul, against plaintiff Derek Dixon, a professional actor and screenwriter. Mr. Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, and playwright who has built one of the most successful careers in the film and television industry. Mr. Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexually exploitive dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault, and battery, and professional retaliation when Mr. Dixon did not reciprocate Mr. Perry's unwanted advances. These events occurred while Mr. Dixon was employed as a series regular on the Tyler Perry show, The Oval, and while Mr. Perry held direct control.
Okay, let me just split screen this using the fancy Opera browser. Yeah, let's just buy both. Link below to download it for free.
Control over his employment, compensation, and creative opportunities. This lawsuit even compares Perry to some other infamous celebrities who have been called out for their behavior in the past. Quote, just like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kevin Spacey, Roger Ailes, and many others in the industry, Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants. That belief slowly transformed into the false idea that Mr. Perry can get whomever he wants. According to the lawsuit, Dixon was working as part of an event staff at a party that Perry was hosting in Atlanta when Perry noticed him and offered him the chance to audition for a part in one of his hit TV shows. Dixon did have a small part on Perry's show called Ruthless. Then he returned to his event staff job, through which he was hired to work at Perry's parties in places like Los Angeles and Jackson Hole, Wyoming. As Dixon spent more time with Perry, he says that Perry would flirt with him through text messages and his advances became more aggressive. Dixon claims that he was invited to Perry's Georgia home where he and Perry drank together. When Perry told him he was too drunk to drive and offered him his guest bedroom, Dixon says he accepted. But then he claims that while he was asleep, Perry climbed into bed with him and tried to initiate sex. Dixon says he tried to distance himself from Perry, but he was offered a role on Perry's show, The Oval. The lawsuit then reads, Dixon did his best to tiptoe around Tyler Perry's sexual aggression while keeping on Mr. Perry's good side. Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage with the sexual innuendos, Dixon's character would die in the next season. Indeed, Dixon's character Dale was shot 4 times in the chest at the end of his first season on The Oval, and Perry always held this over Dixon's head, implying that Dale would survive if Dixon kept Perry, quote, happy. According to the complaint, Perry had made it clear to Dixon that he would kill characters in order to get an actor to be loyal or obedient. During the pandemic, Dixon says Perry convinced him to stay in one of the houses that was part of Tyler Perry's studios, quote, in or around April of 2020. And while Dixon was living in the studio homes on set, Perry often coerced Dixon to drink alcohol and then get on the phone with Perry. Perry would frequently have someone drop off alcohol at Dixon's door. Perry would eventually turn these phone calls into sexually explicit rants. Perry would get frustrated with Dixon and tell Dixon that he was not giving Perry, quote, what he needs. Dixon's refusal to succumb to Perry's sexual advances caused Perry to be ever more frustrated. Eventually, Perry warned Dixon that if Dixon told his castmates about the harassment, Dixon would be opening himself up to lots of, quote, questions and foolishness, and demanded that Dixon not discuss any of their conversations with his castmates. Dixon's lawsuit also listed out some of the sexual commentary by Perry that Dixon claimed he experienced while filming The Oval in 2020. This is what he says that Perry told him. Dixon said that Perry told him, quote, that he liked being choked. That was after Dixon's character was choked by a cast member in a scene on The Oval. Perry also allegedly said, why do you twist your hips when you walk? How can I get a day of Dixon? When will you be thick again? I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry for the first person who flirts with me, and I've been trying to put that energy somewhere else, but everything is sexual on this stuff. The lawsuit also contained numerous text messages from Perry to Dixon, some of which seem to have been sent when Perry was intoxicated, and if Dixon didn't respond according to the complaint, Perry would hound him. Dixon also claims the harassment turned physical. Quote, on multiple occasions, Mr. Perry sexually assaulted Mr. Dixon, including one instance where he forcibly pulled off Mr. Dixon's clothing, groped his buttocks, and attempted to force himself on Dixon. Mr. Dixon told a drunken Perry no and attempted to remove Mr. Perry's hands, but Mr. Perry held tightly onto Dixon's wrists. Mr. Dixon was only able to escape after de-escalating the situation by abruptly changing the subject. The day after the assault, Mr. Perry called and texted Mr. Dixon relentlessly saying, tried you, call me, and I really need to talk to you. Please call me as soon as you can. And finally, when Mr. Dixon answered Tyler Perry's call, Mr. Perry profusely apologized for the sexual assault while blaming it on other things. Perry continued, quote, he didn't know why he would do that. Maybe he was self-sabotaging. On the very same call where he apologized for the sexual assault against Dixon, Perry told Dixon, quote, and don't worry, we're going to do your show, referring to the pilot that Perry knew Mr. Dixon had desperately wanted to produce. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Dixon got a call from Perry's lawyer saying that Christmas had come early and that Dixon was getting a substantial raise and the show was greenlit. Perry's attorney explicitly warned Dixon not to tell any other actor on the show about Dixon's raise because no other actors were getting a raise, only Dixon. Later in the lawsuit, Dixon's lawyers write, in or around April 2022 before beginning to shoot the next season of The Oval. Perry called Dixon to discuss the June 2021 sexual assault. On the phone call, Perry lectured Dixon about how Dixon was overreacting to the sexual assault because of prior sexual assaults in Dixon's life. Perry said that there was a misunderstanding and miscommunication and that Dixon needed to say no stronger. In other words, Perry blamed Dixon for the sexual assault, claiming that Perry felt that Dixon's no was really a yes because Dixon did not say no strongly enough.
Yo, that's crazy. If somebody tell you no, you think that means yes, and the no wasn't strong enough? Like if somebody say no, like how would you want them to say no? Like you want them to scream it? Of course, yeah, but then again, it's like he's saying no. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff is allegedly. I don't know if this stuff is true or not, man. But I'm just like, just reading this stuff and hearing this stuff, man. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I saw the text message and stuff like that, and I thought the text message was like a little flirty. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, really listen to this right here. Like, this is sound crazy, yo.
Dixon says he finally, quote, woke up to the fact that Perry was allegedly stringing him along about working with him on his own show to keep him around to be sexually harassed. In 2024, Dixon reported Perry's alleged conduct to the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. According to the lawsuit, after reporting the sexual harassment, defendants, which is Perry and his studio, did not make any investigation into the complaint and did not take any steps to prevent further harassment from occurring. Because defendants took no action to prevent further assault or harassment, Dixon had to quit his job working on the last season of The Oval. Dixon did so even though he was under contract to finish filming and stood to make close to $400,000. Dixon did not want to be sexually harassed or be placed in danger of a sexual assault again. Defendant then retaliated against Dixon. Defendant told Dixon if he quits and told the other actors why he quit, he would be in breach of his contract. Defendants told Dixon that the only way out was to portray his departure from the show as a medical leave due to the emotional distress caused by the sexual harassment. Instead, defendant made the leave of absence unpaid and therefore terminated plaintiff's employment, causing Dixon additional loss of income and insult. But Tyler Perry is fighting back. In a statement, an attorney for Perry reportedly said the allegations are a, quote, scam. The attorney went on to say, we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. The attorney, who according to TMZ is identified as Matthew Boyd, said in full, this is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. Joining us now is former federal prosecutor and president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, Nima Rahmani. Thank you for taking the time, as always, to be with us here on Law and Crime. I know we're still gathering information about exactly what Derek Dixon is accusing Tyler Perry of, but from what we know right now, how strong of a case does it seem that he has?
Chris, thanks for having me. Really breaking news today. Bombshell lawsuit against Tyler Perry, and information is coming in, but it does seem to be a strong case, at least in terms of the text messages. Sometimes in these sexual harassment cases, really the harassing behavior happens behind closed doors, and it's a he said, or he said, she said, or she said type situation. But text messages are fantastic, whether you're a prosecutor or a civil plaintiff's lawyer like I am. And looks like Dixon may have the receipts in this case.
He's looking for $260 million, even though Tyler Perry is a billionaire. That's still, in terms of net worth, just from what I've been reading online, $260 million is a lot of money. What does that tell you? And when someone sues someone, like in this instance, it's not a criminal case, and you're looking for a specific amount of money, what goes into determining what that is?
Yeah, lawyers can say all sorts of things. Really, ultimately, what matters is what they ask the jury for. So they can ask for less or more during closing arguments. So I usually put that aside. It gets a lot of good headlines, but I can't imagine this case being worth 9 figures. Sexual harassment is wrong. No one should be subject to it. And sometimes you get these nuclear verdicts or runaway juries, but I can't imagine a case like this going for that amount, even though, like I said, I don't condone any of this behavior.
No, and Derek Dixon, he has some text messages that that very much show. I mean, if Tyler Perry was someone who was supposed to be professionally his boss, that was going to open up career opportunities, it's not something that a boss would be allowed to say to an employee if that was their relationship. When it comes to this case, what's the bar that Derek Dixon would have to prove in court to get money from Tyler Perry?
So there's a few different claims, and they're all very serious. I'm not trying to downplay any of this. There's a sexual assault, right? Grabbing his buttocks, pulling his underwear down. That's pretty serious stuff. And then you have sexual harassment. What I say is really the worst kind of sexual harassment, which is the quid pro quo. That means, hey, if you perform sexually, I will help your career. And if you don't, I'm going to retaliate. And the argument here is that Dixon was going to be written off the show if he didn't comply with these sexual demands. So, when you go to law school or really study employment law, that is the textbook quid pro quo sexual harassment. This for that. You give me something, you get a benefit. And if you don't, you're going to be punished.
And Tyler.
Wow, man, this is wow. It's serious. And if this is true, like I said, a lot of stuff alleged, man, if this is true, man, this looks bad for Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong. Tyler Perry had a kid a couple years ago, and I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I always thought Tyler Perry was gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm serious. I always thought he was gay. He had a kid, so I don't know how that, you know what I mean? He had a kid. I don't know if he's with the woman or he just ended up having a kid by the woman, whatever. So he may be bisexual, but I always thought he was gay, man. When I first seen him Madea play and stuff like that, I look at, yeah, he got a little fruit to him. You know what I'm saying? Listen, that's his prerogative. Listen, I don't care what you do in your private life. That's you, man. But this right here, if it's true, man, then Tyler Perry needs to be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be held accountable because sexual assault is serious. Even though these are two men, it doesn't matter. So if we take it serious when it's a woman, then we need to take it serious when it's a man also. You know what I'm saying? No slicing it up. And I am a big fan of Tyler Perry and his movies and stuff like that, man. I think he's an awesome and great director, making good movies and stuff like that a lot of times. I might not agree with a lot of his movies and stuff, but he do be having some good movies, and I do watch them, and I do appreciate his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? That he really, really works and really put out a lot of material. So this right here, and this guy wants $260 million. Come on, man. Let's be serious. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get that much. You're never gonna get that much. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why his lawyer even said that. Now, if he just say maybe 25, maybe 50 million, then maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Tyler Perry probably would have settled. You know what I'm saying? But then again, like, if he'd have settled, this probably would have still came out. We already seen what's going on with Diddy. You know what I mean? Diddy settled with Cassie and all this stuff come out, and she still ended up testifying against this guy. And so we already seen what happened to R. Kelly. That was a crazy situation. But Harvey Weinstein, this is basically almost similar to Harvey Weinstein. You know what I'm saying? Having a lot of actresses working at his business and stuff like that, production and stuff, getting a lot of actors put in movies and stuff like that, but sexual favors and stuff allegedly, and they end up finding the guy guilty, and he's going to prison for a long time. And this right here, the guy's not really suing Tyler. He's suing Tyler Perry, so he don't want no criminal charge against Tyler Perry, which is crazy. If somebody sexual assaults you and stuff like that, put that guy in jail. I don't care if it's Tyler Perry. Put that person in jail. But this guy want money, so now it's just a money grab, and all this stuff is allegedly. I don't know if it's all true, but if it is true, then Tyler Perry need to be held accountable. But that's all I got for now, man. Listen, y'all tell me what y'all think about the whole situation, y'all. Y'all think this guy just doing it for a money grab, man, or y'all really think Tyler Perry did this right here? Now, also before I go, like, if this guy got recordings of Tyler Perry's voice saying all this stuff, that's very, very damaging, because we already seen the Diddy trial going on now, that the women and the state, the government got recordings of P. Diddy saying all type of stuff. So if the guy got recording of Tyler Perry threatening him and stuff like that, man, you know what I'm saying he's sorry about what happened during that sexual assault, then yeah, this really looks bad. But like I say, man, y'all tell me what you think about the whole situation, yo. Don't forget to like and subscribe.